So how to just start with your struggling.
That's a good idea.
Really? I'm using that as my intro.
Do it. No balls.
Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki. And today's video is just a quick sit down talking video. Today I want to talk about some tips if you feel like you're struggling with WW or your weight loss journey and you kind of want to get back on track. These are just some things that I think are helpful that have worked for me on my weight loss journey. So if you enjoy this video or find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And let's jump right in. So like I said, one of the questions I've actually been receiving most recently is just, do you have any tips for me? I'm really struggling with Weight Watchers, or I'm really struggling with my weight loss journey. I just need to get back on track. What are some tips you have for me? So today I'm going to kind of go over some of the things that I think are helpful if you're feeling this way. Personally, these things have worked for me on my weight loss journey, losing 70 pounds. And so I just thought I would share some of them. So the first thing I want to say is I think the most helpful thing if you need to like get back on track or get started is to not make a big deal out of it. And that helped me so much this time around. In the past, when I would try to lose weight, it was always like, okay, Monday I'm going to start and it's going to be this big thing and I'm going to completely restart and start all these new things in one day and it's going to be so overwhelming and I'm just not going to stick with it, is what would always happen. And so what I've found helps is not to make it some big thing, to just kind of slowly start making these better decisions. And that's kind of how it started with WW. We kind of just started out by saying, okay, let's not get takeout. Let's start making some meals at home. Look at the ingredients we already have. How can we make lighter versions and that type of thing. So not making it some big, okay, we're starting today so we can kind of have a cheat day or cheat week up until then, because that's what would always happen too, is we would like prepare ourselves by eating all this bad food the week up until the day we were going to start because we thought we weren't ever going to be able to have it again. And it was just not a great mindset for us. And we never had success when we tried it that way. So for me, not making it a big deal and just kind of slowly making these changes, realizing that it's about a lifestyle change and not just a quick switch that you want to turn on and then like change everything. So that took a lot of pressure off, not making it some huge deal and not like restricting and cutting out a bunch of things all at once. And I think that really helps if you're feeling like you're struggling or you feel like you can't just get started. Don't think that you have to start this huge thing. Just take it a step at a time, take it a day at a time, and start incorporating small changes. And going along with that, one thing that I also wanted to say is just finding some substitutes. So if you're struggling to find low point meals or stay within your WW points, maybe finding some lower point substitutes can help you to recreate meals that you enjoyed having in the past so that you're not restricting those types of meals or foods, but you can also find lower point options like Laughing Cow instead of cream cheese or chickpea pasta instead of regular pasta. That way I'm getting more protein and fiber. And it's just a choice that's gonna make me feel better all around. So that's what I try to do, find substitutes like that. If you're feeling kind of unmotivated and like you don't have a lot of food options, that really can help if you find different lower point sauces like Bolt House Ranch for the regular ranch I used to use on everything. It really does help me to stay on track. Then the next thing I want to say, if you're struggling to get back on track, is set yourself up for success. So again, don't expect so much from yourself. Don't expect to just drink a gallon of water in a day and go to the gym 5 days a week when you aren't currently going at all, or eat 6 servings of vegetables in a day, again, if you're not eating any vegetables. Take it a step at a time and set yourself up for success in the long run. So if you struggle to get veggies in, try prepping a veggie mix for 1 week and incorporating veggies into just 1 meal a day instead of trying to force yourself to have 6. If that's something that's not reasonable or just not something you're used to, it's not gonna all of a sudden be able to become a habit for you. You have to slowly work your way into these things. And I think when you're struggling to stay on track or get started, that's something that's really huge, is expecting too much from yourself when it's just not sustainable that way. Another thing, and I mention this all the time, but this actually really does motivate me, and it is something that I'm going to be doing in the start of the new year. I am planning to set up some rewards again to stay consistent with my goals. Things have been kind of crazy lately, and I really do want to get back on track with my routine, my habits that I do every day. I really want to stay on track with those. And so what I do is I reward myself for staying consistent with those things. I will have a checklist for the month. It helps me to have a physical checklist. You don't have to actually do that, but having the checklist in front of me, setting the goals for the month, and then if I hit the goal every day, say it's something like reading for 15 minutes or something like that that I want to keep in my routine, that I'm trying to build a habit, I will reward myself after 30 days of doing that consistently. And that really does help me to stay on track. It helps to motivate me. It gets me excited to start up some new goals again. And so that's always just another helpful technique for me personally. Another thing I want to mention, if you're struggling, especially with WW, is to really focus on nutrition and focus on using your 0-point foods, using foods to make yourself full and satisfied instead of using all your points on maybe one high point item. Find a way to make a really filling meal that satisfies that same craving but is way lower in points. I think a lot of times it's easy to get caught up on thinking you can work out to burn the calories and make that your focus, but for me personally, making nutrition my focus was so much more important for keeping me on track because overall it just made me feel better, and then getting my activity in was just like an extra step and another thing to make myself feel better, but it seemed like nutrition was like the center of it all and how I felt all the time. And so when I really made that my priority, it made it a little bit easier to stay on track with other things. And so when I make sure to always have ingredients prepped or filling meals that we can make at home, and that's not to say we don't eat out, we still do eat out, but even when we do, I have lower point options that fill me up more, and I'm just more prepared and it helps me to stay on track. Then the next thing that helps me, I'd say this a lot again, it's just taking progress pictures. That's another thing that if I'm struggling to feel motivated, even taking some updated progress pictures can be really motivating just to see how far you've come. If you kind of fell off track, comparing those to your first progress pictures, it still shows you how far you've come. And I just think progress pictures are really, really important when you're in your head about the scale or you need another way to stay motivated on your journey. Then the last thing I also wanted to mention is sharing your journey with others. This is something that's really, really helped hold me accountable and kept me consistent on my WW and my weight loss journey, is just sharing my journey with others who are on the same journey. And of course it helps to have Adam with me because we can connect and relate on all of these things that we're talking about, but also having my Instagram where I can connect with others, YouTube of course, but just different ways to connect with others who are on the same journey, and not just sharing successes with them, but sharing struggles and using the community to come up with new ideas and share tips and stuff like that. It can be so inspiring and it's there for everyone to use. It's on Instagram, like I said, it's on YouTube. There are so many ways you connect with others, even on WW Connect through the app if you use the program. There are just so many ways to share your journey and connect with others about your journey that really help to keep you motivated. It helps to stay consistent and to know that other people are going through exactly what you're going through, the same struggles. And I don't know, I just think that that's something that has been essential on my weight loss journey. And to this day, it continues to push me. It continues to help me stay consistent. And it's just a really positive part of my life. And so I think that that's something huge. If you're struggling, trying to connect with others who are struggling. Overall, I just think it's really helpful to stay motivated and consistent with your journey. So those are just a few things that have really helped me on my journey. Like I said, I think nutrition's a huge part of it. Setting yourself up for success, but also not putting too much pressure on yourself at the same time, because this is a lifestyle change and you do want it to be sustainable. And I think that that is the best way to do it, is to just take it a day at a time. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Like I said, these are just some things that have personally helped me along the way on my journey. I still have struggles all the time, staying consistent, staying on track. It is something that takes work every day, but it is so worth it. And I just continue to remind myself of that, because when I remind myself how worth it is and how much better I feel, it gives me that extra push to keep going and do that one thing maybe that'll make me feel better when I don't want to. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you guys next time.